Welcome, deep divers. Okay, just close your eyes for a second and try to picture the city, a city where time itself seems to, I don't know, fold in on itself.
Yeah, like the past and the present aren't just existing side by side.
Exactly. They're completely tangled up together. Imagine seeing like buffalo carts, loaded with produce.
Right next to yellow taxis.
Right, sharing the same road. And the horns are blaring, but maybe you also hear temple bells somewhere in the distance.
Mm-hmm. And picture these huge, ancient banyan trees, their roots literally cracking the pavement.
Yeah, but right above them, you've got these massive LED billboards flickering, showing news, ads.
Advertising everything from like local chai startups to massive global hedge funds. It sounds totally impossible.
It really does. Like a dream almost.
Yeah.
But a vivid one. So today, that's where we're going. We're taking a deep dive into this absolutely remarkable fictional world. It's brought to life in the novel Madhya York, The Merchant and the Mystic by Paramendra Kumar Pagad.
And it's so much more than just a story, isn't it? It's this really rich, detailed exploration.
Totally. It explores what happens when you chase totally different dreams, like extreme wealth on one hand and deep spiritual wisdom on the other, but in a world that kind of forces those dreams to collide. So our mission for you, our listener, is to really unpack this incredible setting, Madhya York. We're going to meet two amazing characters, Akhil and Sarita. He's the merchant, she's the mystic, sort of.
Or at least that's how they start out.
Right. We'll follow their journeys, see how they grapple with wanting money and wanting meaning, and how they, maybe surprisingly, find this path to balance.
Yeah, it's not about choosing one or the other in the end.
Exactly. So expect lots of insights, maybe some surprising details, and hopefully some aha moments about, ambition, letting go, and finding your own middle way.
And we've got some great material to work with: the novel summary, a really detailed chapter outline, and even some compelling bits straight from the chapters.
Yeah, it gives us a really comprehensive look, a proper insider's view.
It's really striking how the author sets up this world right away. It just challenges all your ideas about what a city even is.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, Madhya York isn't just scenery. It feels alive, like another character, really shaping Akhil and Sarita.
Definitely.
The sources we have, they're packed with such rich, sensory stuff. You can almost feel and smell this impossible city.
It really makes you think about how our own environments shape us, doesn't it? What we want, what we strive for.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's really get into it. This place, Madhya York, the impossible city where two winds breathe as one. That's how it's put.
It's a mind-bending concept.
Right. A seamless blend, that's the keyword, seamless between a traditional village like you'd find on the Gangetic Plains in southeastern Nepal.
Yeah, that rural agricultural heartland.
And then, bam, the towering electric pulse of New York City. It's not just putting them next to each other.
No, it's more like they've merged, fused somehow.
Yeah.
The book calls it an improbable harmony.
Improbable harmony, I like that.
Where the misty fields of the Terry region literally melt into the steel and glass of the metropolis.
Wow.
And that setup, that immediate paradox, it's so crucial because it establishes the central tension right from the start.
The tension that Akhil and Sarita live and breathe.
Exactly. It's nature meets technology, ancient meets modern, tradition meets innovation. It's all happening at once in the same space.
And the descriptions, the visuals, they're just stunning. Let's talk about the landscape. You've got these simple thatched roof mud houses.
Structures that probably haven't changed much in centuries.
Right, standing right next to these giant skyscrapers.
Right.
And the reflections of the skyscrapers, they're shimmering in irrigation canals that cut through the city streets.
This is a powerful image. That juxtaposition is just, yeah.
And those buffalo carts, again, sharing the road with yellow cabs. You could almost hear the driver swearing, right? But it's this mix of languages.
Maithili, Nepali, and that fast, clipped Brooklyn English all jumbled together.
Yeah, the sheer sound of it must be incredible, a total cacophony, but uniquely Madhya York.
And the skyline tells the same story, doesn't it? It's completely uneven. Over here, you might see bamboo groves, sacred peepal trees.
With prayer flags fluttering, those pops of color, very serene.
Very. And then you turn your head, and there are these massive office towers, gleaming, modern.
But the billboards on them aren't just in English. They're in Devanagari script, too.
Advertising everything from chai startups to Wall Street hedge funds. It's the collision visualized.
Even the transport shows it. Sleek trains on raised tracks overhead.
And right below them on the ground, bullock carts moving at their own pace.
It's like two different rhythms somehow finding a way to sync up. It's wild.
And it's not just what you see, it's the smells, the sounds. It's a whole sensory experience.
Okay. The book mentions mornings starting with the smell of fresh cell roti frying, that sweet, crispy Nepali bread,
Yeah.
and that smell is mixing with the steam coming up from the subway grates.
That's such specific, evocative detail. Tradition and urban grit, literally mingling in the air.
You can almost taste the city from that alone.
And then there's the sound of the Ganga River, or its equivalent here, the waves crashing near the waterfront district.
Where traders are haggling over fish.
But with the same intensity as Wall Street brokers. The energy is the same, even if the product is different.
The soundscape is just layered. You might hear a traditional madle drum beating somewhere.
That deep, resonant folk rhythm.
And it's somehow syncing up with the constant honking of late-night taxis.
It's like this auditory tapestry, constantly weaving together these disparate threads. It reinforces that these worlds aren't just tolerating each other.
No, they're actively merging, creating something new.
And the cultural fusion points are fascinating, too. There's a Durbar Avenue.
Right, with the traditional temples, some ancient and mossy red brick Heavies, those old mansions.
And that just flows seamlessly into Broadway Galley.
Broadway Galley, neon lights, theaters.
Yeah.
But they're staging Shakespeare and Bhojpuri, or classical Mithila dances.
Yeah, it's high culture and local tradition, not just coexisting, but collaborating, creating new forms.
And the heart of it all, Shri Times Square. This chaotic intersection.
With this ancient banyan tree right in the middle.
Its roots cracking the pavement, refusing to budge, while these giant LED screens flicker all around it. News in English, news in Nepali.
That banyan tree is such a potent symbol, isn't it? Resilience, tradition, groundedness, right amidst the flashing lights of modernity. It's Madhya York in miniature.
It really is. And the people there embody this too. You might see elders discussing local politics,
Maybe sitting on traditional stools outside a temple.
chatting with investment bankers who are sipping like organic turmeric lattes from a trendy cafe nearby.
And kids chasing pigeons near the river Ghats, their laughter echoing off glass-walled office buildings.
These distinctions just seem to dissolve in the shared life of the city.
So yeah, this setting, where time itself folds, an eternal, impossible dream. What does it all mean for the characters?
And for us, thinking about it, it's more than just a cool backdrop. It's this active force.
Exactly. It forces you to ask, what happens when these apparent opposites are forced together? What challenges arise? What opportunities?
It's not just aesthetics. It's about the tension, isn't it? Tradition versus modernity, ambition versus stillness.
Community versus individualism. All these huge themes are baked into the city itself.
And understanding this place, Madhya York, is absolutely key to understanding Akhil and Sarita's struggles, their desires, and where they end up.
It really makes us question the neat boxes we put things into. Maybe the interesting stuff happens in the spaces between.
Okay, let's properly dive into Akhil, the Golden Dreamer.
He starts out rooted in the village side of Madhya York, the Terai part.
But he doesn't see it as home. For him, it's a cage.
Totally. He's dreaming big, huge wealth, power, influence. And the city side, that's his promised land.
His motivation is just so intense. He wants out of that predictable rhythm of planting and harvesting.
Yeah, the slow oxen carts, the temple bells, they represent stagnation to him, not peace. He truly believes those steel towers hold his salvation, that the streets are paved with opportunity, not asphalt.
It's not just about getting rich, is it? It's about escaping what he sees as this, like, predetermined, limited life.
Right. His father tries to tell him, the land gives you everything, but Akhil just can't hear it. His ambition is too strong.
He's spending nights reading finance books by kerosene lamp, dreaming of Wall Street, not harvest yields. His focus is entirely elsewhere.
And he really throws himself into these early schemes, like we see in Chapter 3, the first one, selling Mithili artwork online.
Seems like a good idea on paper, right? Taking unique village crafts to a global market.
Totally. Handcrafted fabrics, telling stories, paintings of gods and demons, stuff metropolis boutiques might love.
But the reality hits hard. Shipping costs from the village, astronomical, wiped out his profit margins.
And then the bureaucracy, government, red tape, permits, taxes. A nightmare for a small operator.
Plus, the buyers. Haggling online like it's a street market. Culturally, it just didn't translate smoothly.
He barely broke even. It's a tough lesson in the friction between these two worlds.
And his next try wasn't much better, was it? Trading medicinal herbs.
Again, a clever idea. Ancient Ayurvedic herbs from the local forests sold to the wellness crowd in the city for big markups.
Tapping into that urban desire for authenticity, for natural remedies.
But this time he got burned by a corrupt middleman. Promised the world, took the goods, vanished.
No payments, just debt. Ouch!
And all the while, his father's warning, "You cannot cheat the earth," echoes. The neighbors are watching, kind of smugly.
Seeing a young man fail, as the book puts it, that must have just fueled his determination even more.
Absolutely. He doubles down. He won't be stuck there. He keeps reading those finance books, dreaming bigger.
But the village keeps pulling him back, almost like it's testing him. Chapter 5 is brutal. His mother gets sick.
Right when his next venture, selling village textiles to city boutiques, was actually starting to work, he was getting close.
So close to breaking free. And then, bam, a severe fever. It's that classic conflict. Duty versus ambition.
And duty wins, or has to win. He liquidates everything, all his savings, his escape fund, gone.
For hospital bills, doctors, medicine, oxygen.
It's a huge sacrifice, and it highlights those really strong family ties, the sense of responsibility that anchors him there.
And his mother pleads with him, right? The city is not for you, Beta. This village, it is where we belong.
That must have been incredibly hard to hear. He wants to argue, but he can't. The duty is just too strong.
But crucially, he still doesn't give up the dream. He sees the city lights from the hospital window, still determined, just delayed.
That determination leads to his final attempt in Chapter 7. He learns from his mistakes this time.
He goes back to the herbs, but with a plan, a real strategy.
Exactly. He focuses on how to market them to that elite urban audience, making them seem exotic, scarce, and highly valuable.
He sets up a better supply chain, pays villagers fairly, but builds in good margins. And crucially,
he cuts out the middlemen, goes direct, using digital platforms smartly, creates a compelling story around the products.
And this time, it works. He actually makes real money. Enough to leave.
But then something shifts inside him, this strange unease.
Yeah. The village sounds, the sights, the things he hated suddenly feel comforting.
He starts to feel like he might actually miss it. And his father sees it.
His father says, "You have what you wanted now. Go and see if it makes you happy."
And that question just hangs there. Akil starts to genuinely wonder, was this really what I wanted? The village isn't just a cage anymore, it's something else.
Something he might lose. It's a huge internal shift.
It really hits home, doesn't it? That feeling of chasing something so hard, getting it, and then maybe it's not quite the victory you expected.
Yeah, I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling, that maybe the chase was more compelling than the prize itself.
Okay, let's flip the coin. Let's talk about Sarita, the urban seeker. She's the other side of Mother York.
Completely. Successful corporate lawyer, living the high life money, status, career track, everything Akil thinks he wants.
But inside, she feels this deep emptiness. It's the perfect contrast to Akil's initial state. Yeah, the book says she chased success the way some chased the morning arti, with devotion and desperation.
Wow, comparing it to our religious ritual really shows the intensity.
But despite having it all, money, status, career, none of it filled the void within her.
It underlines that classic truth. Material success doesn't automatically equal happiness or fulfillment.
She felt like a shadow cast by her own life, moving through the motions but not really there.
That feeling, that disconnect, pushes her onto a totally different path, a spiritual search.
Which leads her, in Chapter 4, to start exploring detachment, attending silent retreats.
But ironically, these retreats are held on the 47th floor of a skyscraper, with CEOs and actors.
Right. The setting itself is a paradox. The guru says, detach, let go. The world is illusion.
Easy to say, maybe harder to do when you're literally surrounded by the symbols of the material world.
Exactly. The hum of the city, the traffic noise, the flashing billboards outside, they just wouldn't go away in her mind.
How could she detach when the world pressed against her with such insistence? That's the core question for her.
She tries other things, too. Reading ancient scriptures, studying renunciation. She even tries extreme minimalism.
Empties her wardrobe, sells designer clothes, lives on basic food like lentils and rice.
But the city's demands don't stop. Rent, taxes, client emails, negotiations, invitations, they keep pulling her back.
She starts to wonder if she's just swapped one obsession for another, chasing wisdom instead of wealth.
Is the desire for detachment just another form of desire? It's a really sharp insight. The city constantly tests her resolve.
And it keeps testing her in Chapter 6. She moves to this tiny, basic apartment in an older part of the city, cracked walls, narrow alleys. sells almost everything.
trying to physically remove herself from the symbols of her old life, but it doesn't quite work.
She still felt trapped in the relentless energy of the metropolis. The traffic, the lights, the crowds.
That endless wave of people with their own driving hunger. It's inescapable.
Her internal monologue gets pretty bleak, right? No matter how much she stripped away, it kept pulling her back in.
She even starts doubting if enlightenment is real or just another illusion she's chasing.
There's that image of a reflection in a puddle, one foot in detachment, the other stuck in the city's chaos. It perfectly captures her struggle.
She's completely torn.
Yeah.
The city just won't let her go, won't quiet down for her spiritual quest.
This all builds up to her crisis of faith in Chapter 8. She's sitting in a temple courtyard trying to find some peace.
And it hits her. A real breakthrough moment. She realizes her search for enlightenment has become another obsession.
Like it's a prize to be won, something to achieve and possess.
Exactly. She treated enlightenment like a possession, which is the complete opposite of detachment.
That's a huge realization. How did she get there?
It was triggered by something simple. She saw a beggar in the courtyard just accepting a bowl of rice. No fuss, no demands, just simple acceptance.
That showed her what real detachment might look like.
Precisely. It wasn't about striving or achieving. It was about acceptance. And it made her see her own striving clearly.
Had she simply replaced one desire with another? That question comes back.
And the irony hits her. She actually laughs out loud. All this time, she had been chasing nothingness, as if it were something.
Wow.
She realizes peace isn't hunted down. It's lived, moment by moment, in the present.
That's a massive shift, letting go of the goal of detachment itself.
It's finally liberating for her.
And again, that's so relatable, isn't it? Getting so caught up in the pursuit of something, peace, happiness, whatever, that the pursuit itself becomes the problem, another form of wanting.
Absolutely. Her journey really speaks to that subtle trap.
Okay, so here we are. Akil, rich but uneasy, heading to the city. Sarita, spiritually exhausted, heading away from the city towards the village.
Their paths are moving in completely opposite directions from where they started. It feels almost fated that they'd cross.
And they do in Chapter 9, at this wayside tea stall.
The book calls it accident, or perhaps by something deeper than coincidence. And the location is perfect, right?
Totally. A liminal space between the village and the expanding reach of the city, symbolizing both of them.
Akil arrives, looking like a businessman, checking his phone, trying to connect to his world.
While Sarita is in simple clothes, looking tired, like she's traveled far but isn't sure why.
Their first impressions are spot on. She sees him, he sees her, and they kind of instantly recognize something in the other's state.
And that first exchange is so loaded, Sarita just says, "You're not from here."
And he admits, I used to be. I grew up here. A little defensively, maybe.
Then he asserts himself. "I built a business. I finally have my chance to live in the city."
But her simple question, and is that what you want, just stops him in his tracks.
It hits that nerve, that unease he's already feeling.
And when he asks her if she found what she was looking for, her answer, I don't know, is just as vulnerable.
It creates this immediate connection, this shared sense of being lost despite their different journeys.
Yeah, it sets the stage perfectly for their beliefs to collide in Chapter 10. The tea gets cold, but the conversation heats up.
This is where the novel's core debate really happens, right?
Absolutely. Sarita challenges him directly. You talk about money like it's salvation. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why? Pushing him to look deeper.
And Akil pushes back just as hard, almost mocking her quest. You talk about detachment like it's freedom, but you're still here. What has all this searching actually given you?
He calls her out on the apparent lack of results from her spiritual journey.
Then he defends his own path, talking about poverty, real struggle. Try watching your family struggle because the land doesn't give enough.
He roots his ambition in that raw experience of lack, making it about survival, dignity.
But Sarita's counter-question is killer. And what happens when you get everything you want? Do you think you'll stop wanting more?
That cuts right to the heart of his budding unease, the fear that maybe success won't be enough.
And in that moment, they both kind of falter. They see themselves in each other.
Mirrors of each other, both searching, both relentless, both unwilling to admit that neither had found what they were looking for.
That shared vulnerability changes everything. Akil says, maybe we've both been asking the wrong questions.
And there's this silent understanding. Maybe the answer isn't escape or conquest. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's understanding it together.
It's such a powerful turning point. And it makes you think, doesn't it? Have you ever had one of those arguments with someone totally different where the friction actually reveals something true about both of you?
Yeah, those moments where opposition leads to unexpected connection.
So, from that collision, something new starts to grow. Chapter
hmm
11, Falling in Love. Their arguments continue, but they're different now.
Softer edges, yeah. Less about winning, more about illuminating, exploring together.
And their love story isn't some fairy tale romance. It's built on this mutual realization that both material and spiritual worlds are incomplete without balance.
That's the core insight they reach, together. Akil really starts questioning his drive. Was it ambition or just fear? Fear of being insignificant.
He starts to see the potential emptiness in just endlessly chasing more. That's huge for him.
And Sarita has her own shift. She realizes material things aren't inherently bad.
It's the obsession with them, the blindness they can cause. That's the problem, the attachment.
Right. She sees you can have both comfort and peace, as long as neither controlled them. It's about conscious balance.
And they build this understanding through shared experiences, village markets, temple courtyards, sitting under that banyan tree, just talking.
Talking about dreams, paths taken, where they are now.
And Akil voices their shared insight. Maybe there is no one answer. What if it's both? What if balance is the only thing that matters?
And Sarita adds that crucial piece. And maybe balance isn't something you find. Maybe it's something you build piece by piece with the right person.
It's not a destination, it's a practice, something they create together.
This leads beautifully into the resolution in Chapter 12, A New Way. They both find transformation, not by choosing, but by integrating.
Akil stays in the village, but he doesn't see it as a prison anymore. It's a choice.
And his business thrives. But now its purpose is different. It connects the old and new worlds, creates sustainable work for villagers.
The land becomes his foundation, his home, not something to escape.
And Sarita, she goes back to the city, but with a totally new perspective. Inner calm.
She still practices law, but now it's driven by purpose, not just power or status. She chooses cases that matter to her.
And she can enjoy comforts without being defined by them. She can handle the city's chaos without being consumed.
Their relationship becomes the bridge between ambition and stillness, between having and letting go.
They embody the balance. They're not opposites anymore, they're complements.
They really live the paradox of Madhya, don't they? Walking neon streets, sitting under ancient trees.
Finding peace in the space between those poles. Ambition and contentment, having and letting go.
It's not compromise. The book calls it harmony. A middle path they built together.
It's such a powerful message you don't always have to choose. Sometimes integration is the way.
So, deep diver, listening to this, think about your own life. Where do you feel those pulls? Between work and family, maybe? Or comfort and growth? Tradition and the future?
Those seemingly opposite desires or responsibilities we all juggle.
How might embracing both, finding ways to integrate them rather than choosing one, lead to a more harmonious path for you? It's something to really consider.
Yeah, this deep dive into Madhya York, the merchant and the mystic, really drives home that idea. Harmony isn't about picking a side, village or city, wealth or wisdom. It's about finding a way to hold both.
Akil and Sarita's journeys show us that maybe the best answers lie in that middle way, in finding balance within the tension of opposites.
So the final thought for you is this. In your own personal Madhya Yorks, those parts of your life where you feel pulled in conflicting directions, what could you build?
Right, not by ditching one path, but by thoughtfully integrating the best parts of all of them. How can you find your own new way within the beautiful, sometimes impossible paradoxes of your own life?